don't remember burn you in a yacht.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you this.
Right. Well, listen.
Once you see this, you know.
You listen to me.
Yeah.
Serious this. I'm saying serious.
This is right.
I think he shot himself. Be good. We heard the car crash and came out to see what's going on. Turns out this guy was running from the cops. And he shot himself or something. Yeah, in Brooklyn Center. Damn, they blocking up my whole crib, bro. Y'all can't even come visit me no more, no.
Yeah, in your response just now, on two occasions, you touched on the systemic inequality in the country. The persons in your constituency and in so many other constituencies across the island who can't buy food for 3 days of lockdown, they are saying this is you carrying the inequality even further, because Vernon buys food for the month, but you know the little corner shop in Olympic Way, and a Sunday morning it's full with everybody buy 2 pounds of chicken and 2 pounds of rice.
Buy for each day, yeah.
Each day, but your government has said to them, you can't do that.
So you know, which is my point I was making to you earlier. The journalism in the country has to go further than just what is common knowledge. Obviously, it's common knowledge that if you lock down, you can't, you know, as I was giving the example of the farmer who has to come in from St. Mary, who sells in Coronation Market, that household that depends on that sale in Coronation on Saturday, that is gone. So they are not able to stock up like Vernon, who gets his pay on a monthly basis and goes to Price Mart and comes out with 3 or 4 trolleys.
Oh, I wish.
The point, obviously we know that. That's you're repeating what we already know.
Yeah.
What we don't know, how do we stop that from happening? And why do we have to do this? We have to lock down because the persons who are going to the corner shop on a Sunday or a Saturday or whichever day to buy the 2 pounds of rice, the big jar of oil, the half of bread and so forth, and the half of chicken or chicken parts or chicken back. Those persons are not wearing their masks. They are not social distancing. They may not get ill, but their grandmother or an older uncle would get ill.
Yeah.
And when they go to the hospital, there is no bed there for them or oxygen there for them. And then they go on social media and say, the government wicked, see what they are suffer.
Yeah.
Not making the connection. And I'm saying that the conversation that we're having is being very limited. And this is what I was saying earlier to you, that the management of the information in the pandemic is as much as of importance as how we manage the health and the economy. Because this infodemic, which is being used to highlight in some cases, which is important, but in an opportunistic way to create social tensions, to create divergence and conflict in the society because of the existing and traditional inequalities and inequities, that is also a very dangerous thing in the society, of which the government is very sensitive. And I raised it, that if we are going to ensure that people wherever in Jamaica can, continue with their hustle, continue with their jobs, earn income, and continue with commerce, continue with going back to school, they will also have to learn to live with the pandemic, live with the coronavirus, which only moves if people move, which is only transmitted if you are in proximity or you touch a surface where the virus is alive. So it's important that you keep sanitizing your hands, And to avoid the proximity issue, wear a mask. It's not rocket science. It is simple public health. And it's not the first that we have had to do this. In many years gone by, when we had cholera and other kinds of diseases, we have had to take similar public health stance. And we have been successful in that, in hand washing, not spitting on the streets and so forth. We have had to do that. And we can do it now. We have greater hope that the pandemic will end. How will the pandemic end? The pandemic can end in the natural courses that we have seen in history, where people who did not have an understanding of the public health science behind transmission just went about their business in a normal way, and a significant portion of the population died and got natural immunity for those who survived. Or we can use our heads and take the knowledge that is there and comply with the measures until the storm passes. And it will pass if we follow these rules, if we don't give the virus any space to move about, to be transmitted, and to infect others. And that is just by changing the way in which we behave.